Alhamdulillah, salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala. Amma ba'd. After praising Allah Almighty and sending salutations on the most beloved of creation, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, I would first and foremost like to thank the Hadrat Sultan Bahu Trust for organizing such an auspicious event. Allah Ta'ala unko jazai khairat afman. May Allah Almighty reward all the organizers and those who organized this event. I was asked to speak on the topic of contemporary issues. How, mashallah, Qibla Mufti Sahib, in some cases he is the only alim Mufti answering certain issues and questions that we face every day. So I myself have also been to university as well as studying Dars Nizami and the Mufti Course. I was also blessed with the opportunity beforehand to go to university, and as you know, there is the issue of student loan, interest, maintenance loan, etc. So I asked many scholars, मैंने बहुत से उलमा किराम से रब्ता किया, मुफ्तियान किराम यूके से, पाकिस्तान से, हिंद से, ये जो सूद इसमें दाखिल है, अब we know that we're not allowed to accept interest. Lekin in student loans there is some amount of interest, mentioned as interest, described as interest. So are we as Muslims allowed to take that, accept that from Muslims? MashaAllah, Qibla Mufti Sahib, not only does he mention Quran and Hadith and countless, endless books of fiqh, whether it's Raddul Muhtar, Durri Mukhtar, Hidayah, Inaya, Binaya, any and every single book of fiqh he will give you as hawala, as reference. जहाँ आप मुफ्ती कासिम ज़िया का नाम देखेंगे वहाँ ज़रूर हवाला देंगे, वहाँ ज़रूर कुरान और हदीस लिखा होगा जहाँ मुफ्ती कासिम ज़िया का नाम लिखा होगा. Wherever you see the name Mufti Qasim Zia written, you will see Quran written, you will see Hadith written, you will see countless and endless books of the names of fiqh books that you will never have even heard of. They will also be written wherever you see his name written. So I will just explain this one masala. I was given 5 masail to explain, but because the time is short and we are already over, I will just explain this one issue of student loan and maintenance loan. So there is a hadith sharif in which it states that between a Muslim and a non-Muslim, in a non-Muslim country, interest, they do not have interest between them. And any time a non-Muslim offers you money, it's okay to accept it as long as there is no deception amongst yourself and that non-Muslim. And if there is benefit, if there is, agar aapko nafa ho raha hai, if you are receiving benefit, it's an advantage for you to accept that. फिर सिर्फ इसी हाल में आपको इजाजत है कि आप उसको कबूल करें. Then you can accept that student loan. तो जब देखा जाता है student loan, you know, it has many conditions. Your wage has to be £25,000, above £25,000, and only then do they stop minusing some money from your wage. तो जब आपकी वेज, आपकी तनख्वाह ये 25,000 पाउंड होगी, उससे ऊपर 9% उसका सिर्फ उस वक्त लेते हैं. तो अगर आप हिसाब लगाएं, if you work out, if your wage is for example 27,000 and you pay over 30 years, you will have only paid 5,400. तो आप मुझे बताएं, is 5,400 less than 27 or more than 27? Less than 27. इसी तरीके अगर आपका वेज 35,000 पाउंड है, if your wage is 35,000 pound a year, and you do this for 30 years. After 30 years, your debt is wiped off anyway. Even this only amounts to 27,000. Again, I'll ask you: is 27,000 less than 35 or more than 35? Less than 35. So you're still not paying more. It's still not even interest. Even if your debt amounts to 50,000. 50,000 pounds, 50k, even then you will still not have even paid a penny more. And even if you do pay a penny more, there is no interest between a Muslim and a non-Muslim. Because you are receiving benefit, that is an advantage for you. This is why, mashallah, to this day, we have been blessed by the fatwa of Mufti Sahib that we can hold our heads high and we can accept student loans and maintenance loans in these countries and other countries. तो मैं दुआ करता हूँ कि हमें सब अमल की तौफीक अता फरमाए. आमीन बिजाह नबी अमीन व आखिर दावा अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह. दूसरे
मुसल्लियन अला मुहम्मद सल्लल्लाहु तआला अलैहि व सल्लम खैर नबी उरसिला. अम्मा बाद, अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम. बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. As you've already probably noticed, I have a husky voice, so I'm not going to take more than 2 minutes as well. And inshallah, I don't want to bore you as well. But Qibla Mufti gave me a topic to discuss about fear and piety, the events relating to those when giving fatwa. When a person gives a fatwa, right, he must have fear and he must have piety in him. Now, I just narrate one waqiyah. A man named Khalid, he came to the Imam of Medina Sharif, Shaykh al-Islam, Hujjat al-Ummah, Hazrat Imam Malik, alayhi rahmah. They came to him and said, "Oh Shaykh, tell me I have 40 questions. I have came all the way from Iraq. I have walked all the way from Iraq to Medina to ask these 40 questions." The Imam already answered 5. This is Imam. He is the biggest Imam of his time. And he's only answering 5. And then when asked, "Oh Shaykh, if I go back to Iraq, they will say that you don't know nothing." Imam Malik, he stood up in a mountain. He said, "Tell everyone I don't know nothing. Tell everyone I don't know nothing." Now, he knew it, but he had fear that he does not want to make a mistake in giving a fatwa. He did not want to give a mistake. One of the narration read that Imam Shahbi, alayhi rahmah, a person came to him as well. Similar story. And they said, "Imam, you are the biggest Imam of Kufa. You can't answer these simple questions. Aren't you ashamed? Aren't you ashamed?" And Imam Shafi replied, the Quran says, "Well, قَالُوا لَا عِلْمَ لَنَا إِلَّا مَا عَلَّمْتَنَا." When the Malaika said, "Ya Allah, we don't know nothing except for what you taught us." If the Malaikas were ashamed, why would Imam Shafi be ashamed? Now the reason why I mentioned these, I've been over 2 minutes as well. The reason why I mentioned these, when someone comes to Imam of a masjid, Imam Sahib answered this question. The Imam Sahib said, "I don't know the question." What is the response? This guy doesn't know nothing. This guy doesn't know nothing whatsoever. What can Imam easy? Right? But remember, there's piety, the taqwa in here as well. Imam Jazari, alhamdulillah, I have the honor of studying Sabah Ashtakiyat as well. Right? I have the honor, alhamdulillah, I'm still studying as well. In Imam Jazari's kitab, An-Nashr fi Qira'at al-Ashr, he writes in this book that I have done this tahqiq on the word ahruf. This word, I have done a 30 years tahqiq on it. 30 years I have done my research on this one word. And then at the end he says, لَأَلَّهُ صَحِيحٌ. He says, perhaps it is right. Perhaps it is right. You don't say it is right. You don't say, فَهُوَ صَحِيحٌ. You say, لَأَلَّهُ صَحِيحٌ. Perhaps it is right. Now, there's many, I can talk on more than 2 minutes, right? But what I'm going to tell you, I'm born in Dewsbury, right? And where you all know what Dewsbury is, and you know where the big Markaz is, right? And we all Sunni says we don't have nowhere to go. But alhamdulillah, you people are so lucky that you have our dara over here that is studying the same thing that people study and they go abroad to study. All the ulama, they have left their homes and study. Like they say, Imam Ijasa, they went to Damascus and so on. But you are so lucky you come to the masjid which is next door to your house probably, and you should come here and learn from these scholars. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept my speech. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'een. First of all, I would like to thank the organizers of this mehfil, the Sultan Bahu Trust. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept their efforts and reward them abundantly. And I would also like to congratulate all of the Hufaz-e-Kiram for graduating today, as well as the Ulama who will be presented with their certificates for completing the theory aspect of the Mufti Course. The aspect I've been instructed by my teacher, Hazrat Qibla, Mufti Qasim sahib, to discuss is a particular aspect of Shara Uqud Rasul Mufti, for which Ulama ibn Abidin Shami, rahimahullah ta'ala, is renowned for, as well as Fatawa Shami. In this book, he highlights and points out some of the errors made by the previous scholars for sabqat-e-nazar, for overlooking a text, a passage, or for incorrectly recording a passage. And then later scholars, they also began to pass that same ruling incorrectly. Ulama ibn Abidin Shami, rahimahullah ta'ala, he highlights these. One of them is taking ujrat, taking reward, money or payment for tilawat-e-Quran. So this was incorrectly attributed to the Ahnaf, and the later scholars, they spread this incorrectly and unknowingly. Ulama ibn Abidin Shami, he not only points out and highlights this and cautions those people, but he also goes back to the original sources, finds the original mas'ala ruling which is correct, and then substantiates that from the nusus, from the text of the Quran and Hadith, and proves that any kind of demand for payment for any type of ibadat, ta'at, for worship is batil. The A'imma Thalatha, Imam Adam Abu Hanifa and his two students, Tarafain, Imam Muhammad and Imam Abu Yusuf, rahimahullah ta'ala, they have a consensus that any kind of demand for ujra, for tilawat-e-Quran is batil, it is incorrect and it is disallowed. And this is incorrectly attributed. The actual ruling is that this is only permissible when it comes to teaching the Quran. So teaching the Quran was misconstrued and interpreted as tilawat-e-Quran. So because the teaching the Quran is a necessity, and if this stops, if this discontinues, it will result in a loss to deen. But if tilawat-e-Quran is sought on a demand and pay basis, then this destroys. This is not only, this is the actual loss indeed, because this is solely supposed to be done for seeking the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As all forms of worship, ibadat or khalisatan li wajhillah, they are only done and they should only be done, as is naat khani. Today we think this is also a necessity, and we shower the Sana Khane Mustafa endlessly with that money, whereas we should be utilizing that money for those people who are actually spreading the legacy of Sayyidina Ghusi Azam. As my previous brothers delivered motivational and inspirational speeches to inspire us and to motivate us. These people who, the maqsad, the legacy and main objective of Sayyidina Ghusi Azam's teachings is the acquisition and the transmission of dini knowledge. This is where we should be targeting and focusing our resources with, not in making the Sana Khane Mustafa even richer. And in certain cases they will just compromise. I don't want to digress from my topic. So any kind of ta'at, which is ibadat, it can only be done for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to seek His pleasure, for the acquisition of reward. And once we are doing it for money, then we are destroying that entire concept of doing it for the thawab, for reward. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to benefit from great scholars like these, and may Hazrat Sultan Bahu Trust continue to serve deen. Wa akhiru da'wana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
الحمد لله رب العالمين ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا نبينا محمد مصطفى صلى الله عليه وسلم. Ayez collectively let us recite the rule on the Holy Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وأصحاب سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم. صلاة وسلام عليك يا سيدي يا طبيبي يا حبيبي يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. Alhamdulillah, I would like to thank Allah Almighty and also the head Sultan Pir of this institution, Sultan Bahul Trust, and also to thank our beloved, capable Ustaz. He is a very capable Ustaz and Mufti Qasim for having this course available for us online. Where I'm from, Trinidad and Tobago, we are overwhelmed with people and institutions of the other sect. A lot of Deobandis, Wahhabis, Salafis, etc. But to have this course available and there for us English-speaking ulama or people who are trying to receive some knowledge, it's a tremendous thing. Alhamdulillah for this. I finished 7 years studies in South Africa from Darul Qadriya Garib Nawaz, and then I saw the course advertising online. My colleagues from South Africa sent me the course because they said, we know you would like to continue your studies, so try contact this Mufti. And I contacted him, he asked for the sanad, we sent for the sanad, give an examination, etc. And we did the course, alhamdulillah. My message to you, and mostly the youngsters, our religion, Islam, is based on knowledge. If we do not have the correct knowledge, we will be lost. And you have these great personalities and ulama amongst you, please take advantage. In my country, you cannot find one Sunni alim who can teach. So these are precious gems, and you have a very capable, I do not need to profess the capabilities of our ustaz. He is very, very capable. We sit with ulama, we know. And your ustaz, Mufti Qasim is a very capable and competent teacher to teach you. So please, young children, youths, especially enroll in Sultan Bahu's programs and the Alim course and different courses and take benefits. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.